I remember reading somewhere he was like, I've never heard Dave Chappelle.
Yes, he did say that.
Even I was like, word.
From New York, Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Let's go. We going. You don't need no prep, Dave.
All right.
Dave's on time
Turn on
today.
his mics there. There you go.
Check. Yes.
Dave, you're on time, man.
Of course. I'm 44 years old now. I'm a goddamn professional.
You do realize that F-bombs, MFers, insertion in any orifice.
We can't do any of that.
Oh, this is live.
Yeah, we're live right now. This is out of New York
100%
City.
live.
5 million people listening right
People
now.
are driving their kids to school, you know, on the way to work.
All right.
Plus,
all
we're
right.
streamed around the world, too.
Duly noted. My fault.
You didn't do anything yet. You're fine.
Not yet.
Dave Chappelle, ladies and gentlemen, is doing so many shows here in New York City. I made sure to print them out because I knew
He doesn't know.
he was going to walk in and go, I don't quite know which show.
I mean, I know what's going on, but it's a lot of moving parts in this run.
So can I ask you a question? What made you, and I mean you've done it before, but what is the joy you have bringing the music and the comedy together?
Well, all right, just like all of you, I'm a fan of music.
Yeah.
And, you know, from Chappelle's show, like a lot of these people that I'm working with are friends of mine. If I don't know them personally, then I'm at the very least, a admirer of theirs. And it's good, man, when people get together. A lot of egos have to be pushed aside for us to all be able to work together. And it is a joy, man.
But is it like an extra bonus? Like you knew you wanted to be successful in comedy, but then you've gotten to play this awesome sort of hip-hop ambassador role as sort of a bonus. Like everyone in hip-hop loves Chappelle and is willing to put their thing aside to come do your show, which is pretty cool.
I mean, well, it's like everyone in the room, we're all part of the culture. We might not rhyme and stuff, but you know what I mean? Like, if you have commentary on a rap record, people will give you legitimacy because you've proven that you're aware of this culture. You commentate on it, you know. But for me, I wouldn't even consider myself an ambassador. I am a fan like everybody else of this music. And I'm lucky enough to get to know some of the best practitioners of this genre.
And you have some of these practitioners doing your shows.
Oh, yes, I do. Some of the very best.
Would you like
and
to-
it's also the first time that I'll be co-headliner with like Chris Rock. Guys that big don't ever get to do shows together, so like me and Chris are gonna do 2 nights together.
That's so dope.
We got some special guests coming through. It's gonna be a swell time.
And are there tickets still available? There are still tickets available, Corey?
Yes, but they're going like hotcakes in New York. Hurry up, get to the internet, run to the phone. Tickets are selling out.
This is the official Dave Chappelle taking over Ebro in the morning. We're going to wake Dave up. We're going to be back. New cameras. What are these new cameras you brought in here for?
Well, you know, if you do something this big, you got to document it. You don't do this every year in your career. The thing is, this is a special year for me. The end of this run will be my 44th birthday, the last night of this run.
Wow.
Which will mark the beginning of my 30th anniversary in comedy.
Wow.
Yes. Like, who, you know what I mean? If I was a military guy, I could retire now.
Right.
Get a swell pension. As a matter of fact, as a comedian,
A swell pension.
I could retire right now.
I think you could, Dave, if you wanted to retire. I think you'd be straight. Some would say you did retire for about 12 years before coming back.
Well, unbeknownst to them, I was slaving away. Hey, everybody, listening to Hot 97, apparently we're hip-hop and R&B lit. I'm comedian Dave Chappelle. I'm joining Ebro and the gang this morning, promoting my upcoming Radio City run, which is going to be epic. Now, Ebro, you had asked me earlier who are some of the people participating. Starting tomorrow night, for the next 4 nights, I will be there with The Roots. Join The Roots, of course.
Yeah.
Will be special guest Lil Wayne.
Wow.
Ice Cube, Common, the young Vince Staples,
Love Vince. Love Vince.
Big Boy from Outkast, and many more. And then the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'll be there with Chris Rock. Following week, August 9th, the lovely Miss Erykah Badu joins us. And then on August 15th, we have a very special guest.
Oh, wow.
This guest is so special.
Wait, has this been announced yet?
Oh, announced. I believe it might even be sold out. And nobody even knows who the special guest is. And the guest is so special that I can't even say who it is.
Oh, damn. I was going to give you a drum roll and everything.
I had the flex bomb here.
Hey, hit the flex bomb anyway.
It's a special guest. Very special guest.
Well, it's a very special guest. It's a very special occasion. What do you think I'm going to bring out? You know, ladies and gentlemen, Chubby Checker. He's back from it. I'm kidding. It's going to be great.
Now, Dave, a question. This many shows, Radio City, unprecedented for a comedian, yes? Nobody's ever done this before.
Someone has. I shouldn't say. I believe Bill Cosby has the record for the year. That's hilarious. I mean, Rosenberg, you were really quick with that one too, right? Oh boy, yeah, but no, but actually, I think that at the end of this run, we will exceed that attendance record.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And is it extra special that it's Radio City? There's a certain aura of Radio City.
That venue does mean a lot to me. You know, like the first time that I did a show that was larger than a comedy club was at Radio City. I was 19. I was opening for Aretha Franklin. And then I didn't come back to Radio City till whatever that run we did 3 years ago, 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a special place, man. It is.
It's a lot of people don't realize just how long your run in comedy was. I had interviewed David Allen Greer a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about you guys being on the same shows when you were like 16 years old, 15 years old, right?
Yeah, man.
Caroline's.
I'm like, because I was so much younger than my peer group, you know, I've been around for a long time, but, you know, I go through this thing where I feel like I'm older than I am because my peer group is like a decade ahead of me.
Well, I was going to say, David Allen Greer, for example, you've known him for 30 years or whatever. He's 58 or something like that.
Yeah. It's like that.
Damn, you just threw 58 on? You sure he's 58?
He was shockingly old. When he told me, I was like, whoa, maybe 60.
Shock. That's not shocking.
I was shocked. I was shocked at David Allen Greer.
Seinfeld was 62. I remember one time I was sitting with Eddie Murphy, we were watching television, and like Sanford and Son was on. And he goes, I am as old now as Red Fox was on the first season of Sanford and Son. I was like, oh my God. He goes, I am as old now as Carol O'Connor was on the first season of All in the Family.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but Eddie looked like Eddie. He still looked the same.
He really does.
Yeah, we eat better, or like even
more money. There's
Yeah,
definitely more money.
Yeah.
Definitely more money. Oxygen chambers, nutritionists.
No, he's right though. He's right. You know, people of affluence don't age the same way as the people. You know what I mean?
But I would say, Dave, you don't strike me as necessarily a nutritionist kind of guy.
Oh, absolutely not. but I live well.
You do live very well.
Yeah, and I have effectively minimized my stress. And I exercise. And all of these factors I think will contribute to my quality of life. Maybe not the length of my life, but who knows? I can get hit by a bus, catch some kind of wild cold or Zika or something. I don't know what's going to happen. So I just don't worry about it. I just chill and do shows that I dream about. It's like a fantasy show. I'm like living the dream.
Well, you know that our good friend Cypher Sounds often tells me about you. His favorite thing about being around you is that you live the ultimate life in that you do exactly what you want to do on the timeline you want to do it.
Well, it sure looks that way.
It really does. You go to all the fights. You love fights, right? So you always go to all the fights. Will you be at McGregor Mayweather?
Okay, that fight I might not actually attend.
Because you're worried it could like devolve into like a Bo Galata riot or something?
No, because it has all the suspense of a Globetrotter game.
Wait, so are you going to watch it at all?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
All right, wait. Let's start with Saturday. You guys were both in the building in Brooklyn, yes?
Yes.
Dave, you went. Laura, you went.
Yes.
Laura, how did you feel about the fight?
Well, I told you guys, see, we had just had the interview with Adrian Broner here, so I felt a little different about him. Like, I felt sorry for him. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy because I felt sorry for him. But why? Because I felt like when we brought up the mental health isses and then, you know, the way he was just reacting. And
You guys brought up mental health issues?
Well,
We had to.
Yeah, we had to.
He threatened to commit suicide. He put a gun on the gram and was bugging out.
Oh, I didn't know that. Keep
Yeah,
going.
and I just kind of
He
felt like,
bugged
and he was
out.
talking about how so many people depend on him, and I feel like everybody's using him, and I don't know. I had this character in my head, okay?
You guys went that deep on morning radio?
When-
With Adrian Broner. You know, look.
All the time.
I thought people were driving their kids to school and all that. What about all that stuff?
They gotta learn, man. They gotta learn.
So when I was at the fight, I was feeling different. I didn't know that the whole entire Barclays Center hated him. Nobody was rooting for him, and he lost the entire fight.
Well, I wouldn't say nobody was rooting
It was
for him.
quiet in there, at least on my side.
It was quiet because, you know, the fight wasn't that eventful for a casual boxing fan. A real boxing fan is going to at least get caught up in the suspense of can these guys accomplish the things they're trying to accomplish within the parameters of a given round. But a casual boxing fan doesn't understand, like, why aren't they punching each other?
At one point, Garcia was like, hit me, boom, 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 boom.
I did not hear him talking in there. Did you hear Mike?
I read his lips. I
did not see Mike in there talking. Hit me, I say. Rocky dialogue.
Wait, so are you? You're not interested. You're not particularly interested or excited by Mayweather McGregor.
No, I didn't say that. I mean, it's exciting, but it's just like I'm not gonna go and. I mean, listen, man. Listen, Floyd Mayweather's probably training as we speak.
Yes.
And as he's training, do you know what Conor McGregor's doing? Learning how to box.
right.
So he can fight a guy that was born with boxing gloves on.
Right.
10-ounce gloves. So it's just like, I just don't see how McGregor can do it.
And in your situation, when you go to a fight, you sit in the most expensive seats in the house. And are they always comped when you get those seats? You sometimes have to pay, right?
Of course, yeah.
So you have to weigh, if you're going to buy the most expensive ticket, is it worth it to drop $70,000 to go watch this fiasco?
Now, I will say about the McGregor-Mayweather fight that it's such a spectacle that in and of itself is worth seeing. That I feel like no matter what happens, Conor McGregor is a very big winner and talked himself into a lot of money. It's his first fight, and he gets to fight the very best. And I just feel like that's what the fight's going to look like.
Yeah, I agree with you. Do you? We got a little bit weirded out when the racial overtones have gotten a little.
You said it off the air earlier, but I'll say it. Boxing's racist and been racist a long time. I'm going with Floyd Mayweather just because he's black, not because I like him as a person. And I know he's a better fighter.
You know, I honestly, man, the racial overtone, I mean, for what I do, my ears are a lot less sensitive than most people's. And in my heart of hearts, I believe that these guys are great fighters. You know, McGregor's from a different genre of fighting, but it's not like I don't respect what he does. I just don't think he's as good at boxing.
Specific, right.
Right. So a lot of people will say Floyd Mayweather should act a certain way because of his stature or his celebrity. And I propose that perhaps his excellence is his message because he's really, really good at boxing. Like in that circle square, he might be one of the most competent people on earth. When he's doing what he actually does, he's great. And life is complicated. Everyone messes up in life, but can't everyone box that good? And so I enjoy Floyd Mayweather. And I enjoy Conor McGregor. And I don't get bent out of shape about things he says because I know he's getting ready to fight a guy that I'm sure he has to feel deep in his heart is going to whoop his ass. And it's a lot of money to take that ass whooping. I would let Floyd Mayweather beat me up for that kind of money. If he want to take a fight with me, I'll do it.
That would be...
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It would be slightly less competitive than what you're going to see on the 26th.
Coming to Netflix next, a Dave Chappelle special. Chappelle versus Mayweather. 1.
I wouldn't even get my ass whooped though.
What, you just go down?
Yeah, as soon as I open the bell win, I just jump on the floor, count to 10, and walk to the bank. Life goes on, man. I got no ego.
Well, speaking of Netflix, were you happy with the way your specials were received?
That's a good question. You know what? To be honest, yeah, sure. I mean, the one thing about putting anything out is you can't control how it's going to be received. And I think people were, by and large, very fair and thoughtful about how it was received.
Are you working on another one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look out. There's another one coming soon.
Are these Netflix people around us as we speak?
No. But they are everywhere.
I knew. Dave, are you into the Jay-Z album?
444?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's into that.
Everybody?
Well, you know, listen, man. I am 444. I'm turning 40.
Everybody's turning 44.
I'm turning 44, man. You know, this guy's saying stuff that I want to hear, and I can understand all the words.
So you're not a big fan of songs where you can't understand the words.
Oh, I didn't say that. I mean, but it's just a record for a person of my time, man. This guy, and it's the first time I think that a guy of his age can make a relevant record, and it's fun to see a genre like hip hop be mature like this. This guy, Jay-Z is he's like a guy. He went to space and came back, bro. He's a billionaire from Brooklyn, from Marcy. I appreciate that, It's fun to see that.
And we never knew that everyone thought hip hop was a young man's game because it hadn't been around long enough to allow people to age. But Hove could keep putting out albums like Bruce Springsteen or Paul Simon or anyone like that.
And to his credit, like for instance, if I had that kind of money, you would never see my ass again. I guarantee it. I would maybe do comedy in clubs or something, but I wouldn't necessarily be out here promoting anything.
I don't think, is he even promoting? He owns Tidal. He just throws it up on Tidal. Nobody's seen him, talk to him, nothing. I don't think, he's with his babies. He's with the babies.
He's going to go on tour when he wants to. On
Of
his
course.
terms,
Yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, I don't think, I don't see.
You would too. If you owned Netflix, you would put up a comedy special when you felt like it.
Or would I?
Or not. Or not.
Nah, I would, man. I mean, I just respect the fact that he's been so true to the game for so long.
How big a fan how early did you become a Hove fan? Because you're a real hip hop head. Were you on Reasonable Doubt when it came out?
Reasonable Doubt was a big record, man. Streets was watching. That was a big record. I mean, I remember all that stuff. It was dope. It was fun to watch. Back in those days, too, I used to see him around in New York. Like, if you used to go out at night, a couple spots, you'd always run into him. Like, during the Ascent, you just see him. And he got his varsity jacket fairly early.
Yeah, legend status.
Yeah, fairly early. He went damn near straight to the big kids table.
Yeah, he did. He had a pretty quick run.
We had big kids table money early too. That helped.
Yeah. Remember back in the day when it was a big deal that he made $100,000 at the Apollo?
Yes.
And now look at him. What's 50 grand to a guy like him? Please remind him.
What other recent albums you been sitting with, Dave?
Everybody loved that Kendrick record. That kid's doing it. That kid is a perfect reflection of many great influences. Like, when he's probably coming up listening to music, I think he had a good diet.
Yeah.
Because the way he refines it, I like him. He's fun to watch too.
Have you seen him live? Have you had a chance?
Well, do the BET Awards count?
Yeah.
Oh, and then he opened for Kanye that one run. I seen him live.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, when he opened for Ye on was it Yeezus?
Have you spent any time digesting the Hove lines on his album about Kanye?
No, you know what, man? I don't get lost in the woods trying to decipher Jay-Z lyrics. If I really, really want to know, I'll call somebody and be like, and ask them.
Who's your go-to call for explain hip-hop lyrics to me?
I don't know. Most if I could reach him, I guess.
You had the chance to interview Kendrick for Interview Magazine. What was that like? And were you able to just talk to him about whatever you wanted?
Yeah, man. He wasn't a defensive dude, man. I think he understood I came in peace. And I'm a fan of his. And I think the thing that I was impressed by him was that he sounded very introspective and thoughtful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he puts it down. I think he stays in probably a creative zone. Guys, like, you can tell when you talk to guys sometimes, like, this guy's working through problems that he doesn't necessarily have to work through. He's figuring it out.
Yeah.
And he's a smart dude, man. I enjoyed that conversation. Now, granted, when I spoke to him, I was in the back of a car on the road on my way to, like, dinner. And he was in the middle of, God knows what. So if I had, in a perfect world, I would have liked to have sat down with him face to face and
Gotcha.
had more of a conversation like we're having now. Well, not like we're having now, but, just actually talk. But he was very open. I mean, especially considering we're on the phone and there's a guy from Interview Magazine recording the conversation and all that. Right. You know what I mean? Those things, there's a lot of moving parts. And he's never put his guards up. He didn't sound tired or evasive or anything. He just talking.
Do you believe in a lot of times in the hip hop conversation, people, of course, laud Kendrick for his lyrics, me being the foremost to do that.
You're a nut hugger.
Me being the Kendrick nut hugger of a generation.
You hear that kids going to school in the back of the car? Nut hugger. Never talking about nut
They
hugger.
know. All the kids know.
The kids have already
It's a
learned
known
that.
thing.
But a lot of people then give Drake a hard time because of the thing that was brought out about the lyric writing, etc. Do you think when you talk about all-time greats, do you use that as a strike against Drake, or do you really consider Drake to be an all-time great as well?
These types of questions are tough. Listen, when it comes to art, right? Results matter. So if I listen to a Drake record and I like it, and then somebody comes behind that and starts telling me everything that's in the hot dogs, I ate the hot dog and I liked it. It's done.
Right.
You know what I mean? However, if I'm making art, I would rather do it myself.
Got it.
That for me, part of it is like, what can I come up with, and I'm engaging these people. But I don't mind people that make their art via committee. If that's, you know, I don't know what the deal is.
Because the results, like you said, the results matter.
I ate the hot dog. I like the hot dog. And it depends on how I'm using
Drake
the
makes some
music.
damn good hot dogs. Damn
Kosher
good hot
dogs.
Yeah,
Now,
kosher? You think that kosher dog?
Well, he's Jewish. Now,
He might be out here not be. It may not be kosher.
are you talking about his circumcision?
That's what I mean.
Wow.
why is it-
I gotta tell you.
All right, guys, wait a minute. I'm going to step in here. I am not willing to sit on the radio and let you discuss the end of Drake's penis. I don't want to talk about this for even
I felt
another
like it
second.
tied together with nut hugging night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, he went from the balls all the way up to the tip. Buddy. We got to change this conversation immediately.
Okay, so Dave, your birthday is coming up, right? It's the last day at Radio City. How do you celebrate your birthday?
Well,
I know you have some special surprises during the show, but how do you celebrate
life,
your birthday?
though, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So, okay, after I quit my show, I don't remember how old I was or what, but I remember I was like on the walkabout, and I started riding motorcycles. So I recently. Another time I was in Colorado and I ended up doing a show, and Common was there visiting his dad, and he came and rocked with us, and you know, it was spontaneous
That's
and
dope.
fun. Yeah, birthdays. You know, my birthday, the way I celebrate them was I try to make a memory that I'll treasure. Like my best birthday, I can remember my 16th birthday because I had such a good time.
What was it?
I was in D.C. and a bunch of my brothers surprised me. My brother took me to our old neighborhood. He goes, "Yeah, man, remember all this?" Oh yeah, it was fun. It was like reminiscing and stuff. And then a bunch of our friends from elementary school was sitting at a park bench and surprised me. And I had a show at a comedy club in D.C. that night. We all went to the comedy club, and it was the first time they'd ever seen me perform. It was fun. And the MC was a guy named Patton Oswalt, who's pretty damn famous now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but I remember all these birthdays, you know. Comedy is what I like to do on my birthday. Like, I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing for my
Yeah, I was gonna say you're living the dream. You are truly living your dream.
Well, the thing is, though, but it's not easy. You know, I sincerely make a point, literally, I make a point to manufacture quality memories because it's the only thing I believe they can't take away from me.
Give us a little insight to those parties you've been throwing at a barn in Ohio.
Oh, which one's the
Barnes,
orgies
other
or
places
the-
too.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Yeah, we
You
went
went orgies. You went orgies already.
No,
They were
it's
surprised.
not an orgy. It's not orgy.
How'd you get sign off on that? I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about how you got sign off on that from the
No,
wife.
the party is like, it's a juke joint, man. It's like we put full production in my neighbor's barn, and we rock out. I got this band, I call it a band with no name. Really, it's just a bunch of people I poached from Stevie Wonder. And different artists come through and just rock out in the barn. But you got to understand, where I live, this is the big dance. There's no cell phones in there, none of my shows. We don't have cell phones, so your margin of error socially is a little wider. If you know that you're not going to get filmed and gotcha. And people come through. John Legend rocked at it. Tribe Called Quest rocked at it. I mean, we've had all kinds of people.
Chance, I think. You've had Chance before,
Yeah,
right?
Chance rocked with us once. Most rocked with us once. Daylight rocked with us in London. Ed Sheeran came by in London right after he'd done Wembley Stadium, man. And it came with us. We were in a little loft in London. We just rock out. And you get to see people do stuff that you wouldn't normally see them do. Big artists come. It's like there's no ego. I'm not paying anybody anything. People just do it. It's all love, man. We all just look out for Joe.
The pivotal moment in our relationship right now, Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
You brought up Ed Sheeran, which made me think of Game of Thrones. Earlier on the show, I pissed a lot of people off who listened to the program because there's people like, I can't afford HBO, so I don't watch Game of Thrones. And I assaulted people's intellect. I said, look, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, intellectually, you and I are in a different place. And my place is better than yours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I know what's coming next.
Dave Chappelle, do you watch Game of Thrones?
Them Thrones.
Them Thrones.
You watching them Thrones?
Of course I do.
Yes!
But I did not see last night.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine, that's fine,
So
that's
no
fine.
spoilers.
That's
Yes.
fine.
How
Yo,
many?
last night the Dragons.
No,
Yeah,
that's by the way, that's what Alexa did.
But you know, it's funny. I got on late. I like binge watched and caught up because I used to be on the tour bus and there was a couple nerds on my bus that would always be talking about it. Man, and you hear bits of their conversation and dragons and all this. I'm like, man, that sounds whack. Got to work. And then I started watching it, man, and yeah, I just got sucked in. It was, you know what I mean? It was
And then you were chiming about the dragons.
Yeah, then it was like, yeah.
Yesterday, Alexa's dad, my wife's father, wrote her and was like, she was like, Dad, did you watch Game of Thrones yet? He's like, no, I'm at dinner. I didn't see it. Don't spoil it. She was like, damn, the dragons ate Jon Snow. Sad.
Man.
But it's a special kind of show. I had mixed feelings about Ed Sheeran's appearance, but it wasn't bad.
I
though.
didn't care. This is what I care about, Dave. You know a lot of white people. How much, and for people who don't watch Game of Thrones, there's a whole movement about how Game of Thrones really can teach you about white people and the things that motivate them. Right?
Wait, I haven't heard this yet.
There's a whole article. There's a whole article.
What is this article in though? It's better. Be
It's on a black site. It's black.
Black
Yeah.
Blacktail has an article, but
No, it's like root.com, I think. And they started the hashtag Thrones, y'all, and all that Twitter stuff. They're a part of that. Do you feel, for the people who don't watch Game of Thrones, that there is anything to learning white people through Game of Thrones?
well, why don't we say it like this? Why don't we say that Game of Thrones illustrates certain concepts that are part of the power, the dynamics of power,
Okay.
and the manipulation of power and leverage in high-end situations. Be like if you made a show about 50 Cent's book, The 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
How many laws of power he said there are. Yeah, I mean, and white people are often powerful in our walk of life, so maybe in that sense it's illuminating.
Yeah, because the article goes on to talk about the dragons are white privilege.
All right, then they're going to.
Because Daenerys is just born with these dragons that you just fire on anybody at any time. She ain't got nothing to worry about. You can't burn her, you can't harm her, you can't do nothing.
Yeah, so I got to think about it. I got to digest that. I don't know if that didn't immediately ring true.
And then they said winter, the, what are they called? The White Walkers. Mm-hmm. The White Walkers.
Who are the White Walkers?
The White Walkers is
The
racism.
KKK?
It's always coming. It's KKK. It's always on the way.
No.
It's
Hold
always
on. The
coming.
White Walkers are so much more dangerous than the KKK. The KKK are pathetic
No,
at this
it's
point.
racism. It's
Okay,
all
because
of
the
it.
White Walkers are terrifying.
I've got to read this article.
Where in D.C. were you born?
Washington Hospital Center.
And what section of D.C. did you grow up in?
Well, several. I used to live in Silver Spring from like 0 to 10, and then I lived in the Northeast on East Capitol Street.
Did you hear the really sad D.C. news from the weekend?
That Cool Disco Dan died.
Yes.
man.
Wow,
The
really?
legend Cool Disco Dan passed away.
Yes, I did. You heard that country big? Yeah, Cool Disco Dan.
He was for people listening who may not know, he was a iconic graffiti artist, and his tag, Cool Disco Dan. I mean, Dave, your entire life must have been seeing. I'm from Montgomery County, so I only saw it some, but in D.C., you saw it all the time.
Yo, you seen on the bus, like written on the seat. This guy was ubiquitous. Like he just rode all over the city. Cool Disco Dan. And then at a certain point, it's like some Turk 182 stuff. At a certain point, people were like, who is Cool Disco Dan? And there was a paper in D.C. that went and found this guy. And he was like a street legend. He was like a local, like, oh yeah. It was a funny reference locally. And he just passed away.
Just passed away, and there's a great documentary that came out a couple years ago about him. That's phenomenal.
There's a documentary about Cool Disco Dan.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it to you. I got a DVD of it. It's phenomenal.
All right, stuff.
Phenomenal. But yeah, rest in peace, Cool Disco Dan.
Dave, you have some shows announcing today. What's the deal, man? More Radio City dates?
Yes, going on sale today at 3 o'clock. Joining the lineup will be Solange.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Nobody's heard this before.
No, this is breaking stories.
Oh, wait, hold on. Set him up.
Yeah, you need this.
Set him
You
up.
need this.
Gotta have the
Good
right
evening.
thing.
That's right. Solange going on sale today at 3 p.m. Also joining me at Radio City will be select members.
5 p.m., Dave.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Excuse me.
In the newsroom over there in the corner, they say 5 p.m.
Correction. Okay, correction. We are going on sale with Solange's show at 5 p.m. And also joining me, select cast members from Saturday Night Live.
Uh-oh.
Leslie Jones, Michael Che, and Colin Jost will be joining me at Radio City. So please check your local ticket listings. I don't even know where do I tell people to look for this?
Ticketmaster.com.
Ticketmaster. Boom.
Ticketmaster.com, of
That's
course.
right.
But of course.
And all the shows, will there be more added after this, or is this the last?
Well, like it's weird. Like some of these are sold out, man. But On August 17th, Chance the Rapper's joining me. August 18th, I'm co-hosting with the Daily Show's Trevor Noah. And then, of course, Donald Glover, a.k.a. Child.
Now, let's think about this. You've heard them on their radios, on television. You've read their newspapers. You've even talked to them in your beer houses. What do they call us? They call us Anglo fools. They call you Anglo fool. And they've called all of us BR friends. Are we BR friends? They call us enemies in their house. That's not the truth. The truth is they stole our rights. You know that. They destroyed our wealth. Call us Cameroonians. We are Ambazonians. Ambazonia is not a dream, it's a reality. And let's talk to Ambazonia. Ambazonia, you were lost and abused. Now you are found. We have found you. We pledge our lives to set you free, forever free. We won't let you down. And this is our promise to you. Nobody can ever take this promise away, and we will not budge one step back. This really comes down to you and me. You have to join our pledge and play your part. It's my part and your part to make it. You and me will set it free because freedom is the word. Don't let them lie to you. It is nothing else but freedom. Freedom is our right, and in that right is our liberty.